Welcome back to the Night Shift Podcast. I am your host, Brian Markley, at Bri$ on Twitter. To my right, I don't have a nickname for you today. Shit. I was all worried about moving stuff, and as you can see, we're in a new location. We'll talk about that then, but I can't think of a nickname for Jordan. For lack of a better one, the White Mamba, Jordan Wakefield.
How are we doing tonight, everybody? It's at JWakefield98 on Twitter. Back to you.
Okay.
That was weird.
And then on my left, the boy, Bailey Gary.
How's it going, everybody? You can find me on Twitter at bgary24, capital B, capital G.
And we are the Night Shift Podcast. So we're in a different locale.
I forgot to say that squeaks a lot. That's don't no.
Okay.
That's
so my chair's a little squeaky, but that's all right.
It needs WD-40.
Yeah, it might close itself. So yeah, we moved for the time being. This is where we are for the moment.
This is my room.
It's Bailey's room. I don't know if you want me to
it doesn't matter.
Give away your locale.
It doesn't matter.
So yeah, we're trying some things out. Get a different feel. It feels a little more roomy and a little more personality than the basement.
Yeah, because the backdrop on the other one was just plain blank white.
Yeah, shout out Zach. Nothing you can do about that, but
yeah, we do appreciate him for letting us use his room and whatnot. But this will be a little bit more colorful. In a few weeks, I'm getting more posters, so we're getting there.
We'll get some more posters.
It's a work in progress.
Maybe some more light a little bit.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it works pretty well. I'm hoping the camera sees us because we took a good 20 minutes to try to figure out how to stand the
quick? I mean, it doesn't really matter.
No. I'm just going to have faith that it's good.
But what if it's not?
Well, somebody's going to have to run and take a look at some point, right?
Then we just go look.
All right, you go look. Meanwhile, while he goes and looks, I'll do the housekeeping stuff.
No, yeah, that's fine.
We're good?
The only thing is you can't really see the posters over there.
Just don't, nobody try to shake the room or something.
Oh,
I'm going to shake the room. Okay. R.I.P. Pop Smoke. So, what was I doing? Housekeeping. Twitter, obviously. Go on there. Go into the bio. Go into the link tree. I'll take you everywhere you need to be. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I don't think I'm missing anything. The Patreon. Let's push the Patreon again. Support us on Patreon. Share the Patreon. Anything else? Am I missing anything else?
I don't think so.
George, missing anything else?
Sounds like you got everything.
Let's get into it. So if you see me look right, we got the Raptors game on over here, so we're watching that a little bit. What are we listening to, Ben? Let's start with you. What have you been up to? Anything?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, I went and... Yeah, it is very squeaky. That's the only problem with that chair. No, but I went back and listened to If You're Reading This Is Too Late, and just reinforces why it's a top Drake album. Probably my favorite. But nothing out of the ordinary then. Just like the usual playlist and some of the new music that came out.
Yeah, I mean, it was an okay week, I guess. Nothing too crazy?
I wouldn't say there's anything too crazy that came out, but some people will tell you differently, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
Some people will tell you this man is in the same bracket as Joey and Denzel, but...
I'm going to try to do this without spilling everything. Is it possible? Yeah. Yeah, okay, we got it.
That's not my business.
Yeah, well, we can talk about that a little bit. Jordan, how about you? Doing anything fun? You getting ready to go on vacation?
I am getting ready to go on vacation. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I leave tomorrow morning.
Yeah, so next week it'll just be Bailey and I.
Yeah.
Mac bracket.
Lucky for you.
Or Mac tier maker.
The balance will be a little off. All that extra whiteness from the right side, it's not going to be there.
The white balance is going to be awful.
It might be.
Other than that,
just been chilling.
Yeah, not really anything out of the ordinary. I was going back and listening to that Pop Smoke album. It's really good.
Yeah, you told me to do that. I still haven't done it.
Really, really good. I rate that album a lot higher than what I previously did. Other than that, though, nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, me too. We'll talk about some of the new music that came out. But other than that, I've still been on my Uzi kick a little bit. But other than that, nothing else. I mean, just kind of hanging out. Enjoying any possible day I can get off to not do anything but like golf or record. So that's fun. I'm kind of doing my last preparations here for the semester so I can graduate and eventually leave Taco Bell.
That's the goal.
It'll happen. We're almost there, I think. But yeah, I haven't done too much different. Listened to anything too crazy new. Some of the stuff I want to talk about, we'll talk about later. Let's get into new music. Just a quick rundown. We're going to touch on some new stuff that came out a little bit. What else? I don't have much else.
There really wasn't a whole lot for...
It wasn't a huge week for anything.
Not really.
Our main topic of this show is going to be Ghost of Tsushima, since we all finally beat it. We want to talk about that, kind of like we did with The Last of Us, so it's going to be spoiler-filled. So, again, I'll give plenty of warning when we get there. If you're playing the game or are planning on playing it, don't listen to it, but always come back and listen to it whenever you're, done with the actual game and you want to hear what we think about it. Or even if you don't care, then just listen to us talk about it, because we've plenty to talk about there. So, and we haven't really talked to each other too much about what we thought. So, I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on how the story finished up, just the game in general, how we're feeling about it. So let's get into the new music. What did we have? Popcorn released a new album. There's 2 Drake features on there. Both are fine. We don't have to talk about them much.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it.
We can touch briefly on it.
Yeah,
I don't have too much to say on it. I have more to talk about on the other 2.
Okay. Let's just start there real quick then. I like them. One's with Party also. I like that vibe, that Jamaican vibe. It's really but you need to listen to it. Like, you can't just listen to it in the crib. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta be...
It gave me a little bit of a More Life feel. It almost sounded like it had some More Life...
Yeah.
Like, sound to it. Not that it was like a More Life song, but it's had that More Life feel to it. It was good. I don't have really...
I think... What's the one song called? Is it called All I Need?
All I Need is the
one with just Drake, right?
Drake. And then
that's the one. I like All I Need. Twist and Turn, yeah.
Is the one with Party.
They're both good. I didn't listen to the whole album yet. I want to. It's just not the right settings.
Yeah, I haven't really been in the... Like, I mean, I guess you could say Pop Smoke is that drill mixture, but I really haven't been in the mood to listen to that UK side of it yet. So.
Or the Jamaican.
Yeah.
Because Popcorn is a Jamaican OG.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just keep going. You guys listen to the Weeknd song with Juice WRLD?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Billy, you're probably the biggest Juice WRLD fan here, so I'll let you start. What do you...
I mean, I feel like it's what you get with Juice WRLD. I feel like The Weeknd did a good job. I listened to it like once. I don't really need to hear it again.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too.
I didn't really like it all that much.
It's hard because...
I mean, he I mean, I think Park said this on the Joe Budden podcast. He was like, he foreshadowed his death again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's also kind of
it's
surreal every time you hear that.
It's a weird song because, like, you're listening to somebody that's, God rest his soul, that's dead, talk about how he's going to die. It's a weird song.
I mean, it's the same thing with Pop Smoke on his album. Like,
and Mac, I was thinking too.
Absolutely.
Mac did that a lot.
It's kind of weird. Like, it's a good song, but it's not something that's going to be in the rotation.
Yeah.
I think I agree too. I mean, it's cool. I'm not a huge Juice WRLD fan, but I don't not like him either.
Yeah,
he's got a good voice.
Yeah,
I never really listened to him enough to get an opinion, but I don't also hate him. So like, it's.
I mean, shout out to The Weeknd for doing that too.
Yeah.
Knowing that he influenced him and whatnot. What else came out? There was a couple JID features. The Lockdown remix.
Yeah, that Lockdown.
That was really good. That was Anderson .Paak's Lockdown. There was a remix that had JID, No Name, and J-Rock on it. It was those 3. Yeah. That's really good.
Who had the best verse? I'm going JID.
No Name got bars. I know
we
kind of
especially because
the fuck No Name train, but
this is a topic that No Name is very prominent in talking about.
That's what she does well.
Yeah, you guys messed with the Chris Crusade. Just put somebody on a poster.
Let's watch the replay real quick.
But I mean, I thought it was. I don't know, man. JID eats.
Yikes.
JID eats every verse he is on.
Yeah.
I think he's one of those guys that I don't think I've ever heard have a disappointing feature.
No, he doesn't.
I don't think he has.
Every verse he says something where I'm just like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
You have anything to say about the Lockdown remix?
Not too much about
that J-Rock verse is good too.
Oh yeah, I think, and he probably had the worst one. He probably had the worst one. I feel it goes JID, No Name, J-Rock.
The whole thing's really good.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to say who had the best because they're all
top
really
artists.
Good. Well, not necessarily top artists, but they're all really good features. So it's hard to say which is the best.
And then there was that IDK song. Did you listen to that?
I did.
That was really good.
I listened to it a couple times.
Shout out
beat
Kenny
is
Mason.
Insane. The beat's crazy.
Yeah.
I did.
You guys,
IDK always has crazy beats.
Yeah.
I mean, they're different, but they usually bang.
He's okay in his own right. I'm not a super big fan of him, but
Same here.
he's not like I'll listen to a song, especially if he has a feature that like I'm interested
Yeah.
in. You guys should definitely give Kenny Mason a spin sometime. The other guy that was on that album, younger, more upper coming guy. It was cool to see IDK get him and J.I.D on a track, but really give like that Kenny Mason that like platform. He actually dropped. I don't know if it's an album. Yeah, you guys know how that goes, or it's
Project.
Yeah, he dropped a project this year called Angelic Hood Rat, which was like I said, I played a little bit for you in the car. We were waiting for Jordan to get out of work, but he's very
all 40 minutes.
Yeah, he's very versatile. He has he has a lot of different things he can do with his voice. Like he can do that lower tone, but he can do a more animated, higher pitched one. That album, I haven't listened to his earlier stuff, but that album in particular had a very heavy rock influence. Like we were listening, where's my phone? We were listening to one song on the album in the car. It was Angels Calling dash My Dad. We didn't finish the whole thing, but he has a very heavy also rock influence. A lot of guitars and like instruments you can hear in the background. Where I said to Brian, it almost felt like Linkin Parkish in a way. But he's a really talented guy, and obviously he has that kind of influence from more than just one music genre. And I think he's pretty good in a guy that you'll see hopefully get popular more and more as time passes.
I feel like there's a lot of guys in that tier.
Shrek Knows Rap is a fan of this guy, which is how I kind of first heard about him. Mm-hmm. He actually, because this album dropped with something else that came out this year. I forget what it was, but it was an artist that we all pretty sure like, and we were looking forward to the project. I forget what it was though, but he said it was the best project that dropped that day, and I was like, I don't know about that, but like...
Yeah, you know how hip hop Twitter be gassing everything.
Well, I mean, also, I think Shrek is... What Shrek does on... Like, if you guys don't know, we're talking about Shrek Knows Rap on Twitter. What he does for, not undiscovered, but like the not as known artist is really cool.
Yeah, he has a whole different page. He gives them a
platform, and he has like a playlist on Spotify that is Underrated Ogres.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I was talking about that.
And he does those Twitter concerts and whatnot, which are pretty cool with some of the other hip hop Twitter pages. So Shrek as a whole, it does a really good job at giving some guys shine. Like there's another guy that I want to listen to that he likes a lot called Red Devil, who I'm pretty sure he's like 16. Like he's a really young guy, but from what I've heard, he's pretty good. And I think it's him that's dropping something soon. So and you know, to close my thought, guys should definitely give Kenny Mason a listen. Yeah.
And then that takes us to, I think that was all the kind of Lucy's that dropped, right? All the little singles and whatnot.
Yep.
And then we got the Amine album, which is his debut or is it
sophomore? This is his debut. Wait, no, this is sophomore.
Sophomore?
This is because it's 1.5 is his. No. Yeah.
What was it called? Blackjack, I thought?
No, I think
it's a song. No, Blackjack is 1.5 is a song one. I think it's. It might be flipped. But what's this one called?
Limbo.
I'm gonna be honest. I got about.
Yeah, it's 1.5 is his first album. It's this one.
Oh yeah, and then what's the one before that called?
The
one before
Yellow.
For You. Oh okay.
Yeah. Well, okay. I know the theme was yellow. Something. Yeah.
So, sophomore album. I didn't get to listen to the whole thing yet. I listened to the first song, the song with J.I.D, the song with Vince Staples and Slow Tie, and I listened to the one where he's singing. Those are the 4 songs I listened to, and I like it. I want to go listen to the whole thing. I just haven't had time to really sit down with it. And first impression, I like Amina here and there. 1.5 I didn't listen to the whole way through, but like songs like Reel It In, the song with Gunna, I think it's called Hiccup.
Yep.
And there's one more on there I really like. It's slipping my mind. I can look at a track list or something then. But, Jorah, I'm going to let you start because you listened to this album a good way through and you were relatively high on it.
Yeah, so. I was pretty happy with it. The first 3 songs, he's kind of doing like a whole like... It does like the first song's Bird and then it's the second song and then it's the Kobe skit. And then like...
That's about where I got to.
The first 2 songs are like his like childhood coming up and then like what like... He kind of pays like tribute to Kobe and like the Kobe tribute because he talks about how Kobe affected his life and stuff. But like he talks about in those first 2 songs like his childhood and like what he did for him as he was growing up, like somebody to look up to, somebody to, like, keep going and persevering and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool the first 3 songs just to hear him talk about that. And then you have the song with J.I.D, which that song's crazy. That song is really, really good.
Is there somebody else on that?
Charlie something. Charlie
Wilson?
something. Yeah, Charlie Wilson. Yeah, I think it's Charlie Wilson. It's overall, I would say it's his best work so far. I don't have too much to say about the rest of the album because I want to listen to it a couple more times. I want to listen to it once, but from just like the overall sounds and like the features sounded really good. Like I think it's his best work so far.
Good.
I liked it. I thought it was a cool album. Slow Tie is a UK artist that I like, and it's really cool to see not just UK artists, but him, like just like Slow Tie in general, he's getting a lot more attention. He's been on a lot of American stuff recently. He was on Denzel Curry. He did a song with Denzel Curry called Psycho, which was very aggressive to say the least. I don't know if you guys listen to it.
Like he's that artist in general, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty.
He kind of can say some outlandish things. He's, I want to say like Eminem-esque, but like kind of like with kind of the way he has a something about him where he just will kind of just say things and that you'll be like, that was kind of suspect, or like just like something very like aggressive and whatnot. But I mean, he's a talented artist. He was on there. He had a song with Kenny, right? Or am I wrong? Because I know
he
him.
Did,
and,
yeah, no,
him,
he did.
I thought he did because I know. Yeah, neither do I. But I know him and Kenny are friends or at least acquainted. No, yeah, they have to be friends. He was on The Cave.
Yeah.
Which is also cool to see him do that with him. It's always cool to see UK artists get, shown some love. I feel like as a whole in the US scene, like we don't really give those guys that kind of attention or respect. I feel like
Unless
people,
you're Drake.
Yeah, I feel like some people will write it off as the accent or whatever. But I mean, once you sit down and listen to it, like it is really good. I mean, you got. I mean, if you look at like the artist and when like Stormzy, Bugsy,
Skepta,
yeah, like,
Dave,
all those guys. I mean, they're super talented artists, and it's not like some of these guys are better than American artists. But some people don't pay them the mind just because accents.
Right.
It's like once you get the accent kind of adjusted.
See, I don't think it's that hard to get used to.
Neither
either.
do I. I agree. Like people, I know were saying they couldn't understand Heady One. I listen to a lot of Heady One in general, but I thought he was crystal clear.
I can understand where like if it's your first time hearing Heady One, like it's gonna be. Even I had like a little trouble hearing some things, but then once you listen to it like a second or third time and you're used to that,
and once
sound.
you listen to more of the music and like you may have to look it up on your own, but do some research on like lingo.
Yeah,
like it's not that.
Well,
hard.
we get it too because we follow soccer closely too over there, so
that's
that culture,
true.
We also are kind of into there too, so that kind of can add to it.
Yeah.
I don't know much. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to wrap my thought up again. I thought it was a good project. I guess it was his best work. I like Amine, but I don't think he's as special as people say he is. Like I think the project's good. It is solid. It has tracks that have replay value. The album as a whole, like it's obviously hasn't been out that long. I don't know if I can say like the whole album has replay value, but I thought it was good. I think people are overrating it. I think people are overrating him. I saw somebody say that. I think they said with this album or with if another project this solid, he is in the tier of Denzel Curry, Joey Badass, and J.I.D, and I think that is ludicrous in my opinion. I think when you look at Denzel's a guy who has multiple solid projects and crazy lyricism, and he, I mean, in his own right is pretty diverse. Same with Joey Badass, and no one's out rapping J.I.D besides like a handful maybe. Mm-hmm. So it's like to put Amine, who is a good artist, like I said, and who has his own ability to do like singing and rapping, like melodic stuff and whatnot. I don't know what you guys would say. I feel like he's not on that level of a J.I.D or of a Denzel Curry.
Not yet. If he puts out another good project, then I think you just have to put him.
I don't think this project, even or anything he's put out before, is really anything that.
No, but if he continues on that trend, then he's going to be put up.
If he continues his upward trend, yeah, but
not right now.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it's too early to say that. I mean, to be fair, J.I.D only has 2 projects out technically.
But J.I.D's like an anomaly.
Yeah.
J.I.D is just that good.
Yeah. But I guess I know what you're saying, but like. I think if he stays consistent, he could get up. I mean, we'll see where it goes from here.
It's just the thing where it's like, I don't want an artist to get hurt by everybody else's expectations.
Well, that too.
Like, if you're setting the bar way too high for whatever reason, I feel like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what you think, Jordan, because I feel like you're more warm on this album than maybe we are.
Well, I just haven't
We
listened
haven't
to
listened
it.
to it. I
that
liked it.
much.
Don't get
I
me
don't
wrong, but I think
know.
it was a little.
I don't know if he's overrated. I think that's pretty harsh to say.
Now, it could be the overrating could be coming from just
Certain
our
people.
Twitter feed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Which
we
could
follow,
be.
follow a bunch of
Which
hip hop.
could
Twitter
be the case
pages and
because
stuff.
a lot of the Twitter pages that we do follow are really hyped about the album, and
They're hyperbolic in general. So
I see where they're coming from because it is really good, and for me personally, I think it's the best thing that he's released. But I would agree, you can't put him with like a J.I.D, a Denzel, and that yet.
I don't even think he's on like a. Again, he's a really top artist, but like a guy on his album, I don't think I don't think he's better than Vince. I think Vince is really. I mean, I'm a really big Vince guy too. I love Vince.
I think Vince is on the same level. I mean, I would put Vince in with like Denzel.
Yeah,
now.
I would agree.
I think they're that tier, and I think Amine is just one more tier under him. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's not a slight at anybody.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not I'm saying Amine is bad. I'm saying these guys are that good.
Yeah, and hip hop's just uber talented right now.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would say it's the deepest genre of music. That might be ignorant because I don't listen to anything else.
No.
Truly, I mean R&B, but R&B is not even that deep. Speaking of R&B, real quick, Victoria Monet put out a new album. I want to listen to. Remember the song Monopoly that she had with Ariana?
Mm-hmm.
I heard it's really good. I'm gonna listen to it. I'll just report back next week.
Who's
It'll be,
Didn't,
or whatever.
she's an R&B chick.
Well, I kind of got that.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so okay.
I don't know much else about her.
Okay.
Remember the song Monopoly that I put on that playlist? It's on 2K. I'll play it for you later. You'll know. You'll know it. She did a song with Ariana Grande.
Okay.
And they're like friends or whatever. So
Okay.
I'll have to check that out.
Did
So to stay on brand, you got to check her out.
Of course, you know me.
did Kissland turn?
No, it
Well,
didn't.
Kissman didn't do a numbers today
okay,
for no
so-
reason.
So that's funny you mentioned that because you saw him tweeting all that.
Yeah.
So it just randomly because Kissland came out in September.
Yeah.
So it's close, but it's not there
I was
yet.
gonna say, I
But
knew it was coming up.
it just randomly hit number 1 on the R&B charts and
Did it?
on iTunes.
Did it?
And the Weeknd was like, I don't know why, but
Again, that just shows like
Well,
how good the Weeknd is and like why he runs that genre.
that fan base is rabid.
Oh yeah.
That
I mean,
too. I
they
mean, it's
love
like
him.
for me, I think I like Frank Ocean more than I like the Weeknd. But I mean, this just proves that like there's almost nobody that's gonna touch this level of the Weeknd. Like for him to have Kissland, which is like an older project, right?
It's like what,
Randomly,
2013?
yeah, like randomly hit number 1 for absolutely no
Like
reason.
2013,
Yeah,
And then
because
it
it's
was-
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it was trending on Twitter. I mean, that just shows you that. I mean, this guy is a pop star.
And what's funny
say.
with Kissland is Kissland's not even one. Like a lot of newer Weeknd fans aren't gonna know much about that album. That's like the last album where you got like the darker Weeknd. Is up there as one of my favorites. But yeah, to see that trending was kind of funny, and he really embraced it. He was tweeting all a bunch of like memories of him performing it and everything, which is super cool. I love when artists do that, kind of go down memory lane
Yeah.
and reminisce on what they did, and before it's too late, you gotta everything's so fast. You gotta reflect on what you've done to this point. That's just for anything, whether it's musicians or.
I'm sorry. I opened up Twitter, and so some guy DM'd Shrek, right? And he was on Tinder, and he's talking to this girl, and he asked him. He DM'd Shrek asking if he should send it, and it said, "Okay, now here's the real test. What do you think of East by Earl Sweatshirt?" And he was like, "Should I send it?" And Shrek was like, "Absolutely, like, yeah, do it." And she likes it. Like she passed.
Is that the one
test.
with the accordion?
Yeah.
All right, I like
That's
that
the one
song.
that's really weird. Yeah, I do too. She said, "Yo, I liked it. It wasn't like the typical rap songs, and he actually had lyrics that were good and that he wrote, which is so funny because this is nowhere near a
I
top
like how the
tier."
man got gassed like he was gonna get somewhere with that because I've heard that plenty of times and it doesn't work for me.
Mm.
So
Yeah, well, this guy had some different type of luck. She liked East, so I mean, not that it's a bad song, but it's just like the lead with that.
yeah, you gotta be different sometimes. I'm gonna try to maybe send some like Vince Staples songs out and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be like, "Do you like Prima Donna?
Yeah, right. Like, are you a fan of Coke rap?
Do you
Let
listen?
me put you on.
Do you like Conway the Machine?"
How about West Side Gun?
Boom, boom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna listen to the album a little bit more, kind of get a better thought or have a more of an opinion on it than what I do now. What else we got? We got anything else music wise?
I don't think so.
You,
Not to my knowledge.
not that I can think of. I think there was something else I saved, but I can't remember.
Do you guys want to talk about hockey being back and NBA being back at all? Or any other games? I mean, you're probably not in the mood to talk about it.
There's not. I mean, things are gonna get set here soon, so then maybe we can bring it back up. But NBA regular season bubble games are winding down. Obviously, we're still watching it now because there's nothing else to do. You want to just get into the?
I feel like we're gonna be talking about.
You want to get into the discussion?
I feel like we're gonna be talking about Ghost.
You want to talk about my game of the year so far?
That's not even a hot take.
You ready?
That's not even a hot take. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so Fall Guys came out.
This guy, bro.
Fall Guys came out last week on PlayStation Plus for free. And this game's fucking genius. I purposely didn't put the Fall Guys segment in there because I wanted to do that Game of the Year transition, and I'm so glad it worked. This game's fantastic. If
This
you
isn't
have a
my Game of the
PlayStation,
Year, by the way.
it's
Yeah,
not
it's
mine
not,
either.
yeah.
It was a joke. But if you have a PlayStation, you have PlayStation Plus, go download it right now. It's free. It's a battle royale with mini games and your little bean guys, and you can dress them up as you level up. Just go watch a video of it. You'll instantly get it. You play it, you're hooked. It's fantastic. I gotta get these guys got it, and they just haven't played it yet because
Well, actually, I didn't get it yet.
they're slacking. Well, you gotta download it then.
I
don't
downloaded
know
it.
what you've been doing.
The only reason is I
Playing
just...
your fucking solitaire and whatnot. Got your graphics card for solitaire.
Yeah.
You see them cards in crisp 4K.
You actually get it in
On
3D.
your,
You actually get it in 3D.
oh, 3D solitaire. I gotta get a PC now, Bailey.
Wait,
Fuck a PS5. I need
my water cooler.
I need a PC with a graphics card that can play solitaire in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get into Ghost of Tsushima talk. Right now, we're gonna talk and spoil Ghost of Tsushima and the story and everything. So if you're gonna play it, leave now. If you're not gonna play it,
I'm sorry. Little key drop, but I don't think we really have anything to say
no,
about
that
that.
album's
we ain't talking
garbage.
about that shit.
I listened to one song and turned it
Oh
off.
my god.
So this is your last chance.
Dude, the funny thing
Shut
is,
up.
you guys said you wanted to talk about that, and I listened to that album
Well,
the
yeah,
whole
but-
way through because I thought we were
I
going
did
to.
too.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad.
It's not good. It's not.
Like, that's a shitty little baby.
Okay. It's super disappointing for people that didn't listen to it because it has some like huge features on it. It has Trav, it has Thug, it has Gunna, it has Future, it has
44 Doug,
sure.
whoever that is.
He was on Little Baby's album. There's somebody else too that I'm missing, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But like it had like a lot of hype around it because it had like really big names on the songs. And this dude, Little Key, just sounds like ass, bro. Like, he's so bad. Like, I'm sorry if I'm offending anybody, but, like, I don't know how the fuck you're listening to that. Like, it's so bad.
I literally listened to the song with Travis. I didn't even get to the Travis verse.
No,
That's when you know it's bad. If I can't make it to the Travis verse, it's bad. So, yes. Anyway, back to what I was saying. If you don't want to have Ghost of Tsushima spoiled for you, leave now. I'm going to give you 3, 2, 1. We're in spoilers. Did you kill the uncle?
Wow, you're just going to lead up with that?
We can't just lead
You
with
can't just
that.
lead with that.
Why? That's what I want to know.
We can't lead with that. We got to go through the whole kit and caboodle.
I concur.
Okay, then where do we want to start?
We got to start.
You're the host. Yeah, you lead the
Well, but I'm
conversation.
not going to, roll through the whole... Okay, so let's talk everything post Act 1. Because we all talked about Act 1. We were kind of together at that point. And then y'all just left me in the dust.
Well, I think I left both you in the dust.
Because I was too busy petting
I
foxes and shit.
I think I finished the story before you did. We were about close.
You guys
yeah, but
finished
you
at
might
the
have
same
finished
time.
the story before you.
Oh, but
I
yeah,
did,
we
but I
did.
finished everything.
Yeah, you finished everything.
So where do we want to start? What haven't we talked about that we want to talk about?
I mean, you just want to talk about the general... So, like, you just want to talk about the generalities of what you look for in the game, like graphics,
So we can start there. We can start there, and then we can move into the story a
I
little
just
bit.
want to know what you guys did with the uncle.
Well, you have to be
Okay,
patient.
yeah, but we could tell you what we did with the uncle, and then what else would we talk about?
The rest of the shit, I just wanted to know from jump.
No, we're not doing that. We'll
Okay,
save that
fine.
for the end.
I'll start. At first I remember talking to Jordan. I was like, I like the game, but it feels a little janky to me. Like I don't know. And then I kind of fell down the rabbit hole real quick. It takes a lot for open world games to hook me like this one did. Like I want to go. Like I'm still playing it even after I beat it. And I usually don't do that. Once I beat a story in an open world game, usually I'm just done. But it's addicting. It's super addicting. The combat we'll get into is super good. There's not much mission variety, but it still works. I think that's complements the gameplay and the combat and kind of the choice that's given to you of how to approach every situation. It took a dark turn after Act 2 that I wasn't expecting.
It fully embraced the kind of not, I don't want to say dark side, but like the change that eventually happened in Japan with samurais and whatnot, where it was like they couldn't just. I mean, this is also like a morality question. Like, would you kind of keep the path of honor and whatnot, or would you do what you had to do what you had to do to save your people? So I mean, I think that's a cool, like, kind of just like so I would say it's a philosophy question. Would you say?
I mean, kind of. I mean, I heard a comparison. It's kind of similar to that. Is like, think of like the Revolutionary War, right?
Mm-hmm.
The British fought in that.
Yeah.
Unified.
And
in
then
lines, and then
the Americans are just like colonization tactics,
yeah,
like
and guerrilla
tactics.
warfare and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Won the war, when in reality they probably should have lost. That can be
yeah.
applied to this too, with the samurai code and playing as a samurai or playing as the ghost.
Mm-hmm. And I think this showed like also because in like real life what ended up happening was, I want to say samurai died out, but you saw more and more like shinobi. You saw the more introduction in ninjas.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was kind of like what you did as the game. You snuck around, you poisoned people, you assassinated people, things like that. It was not pretty. It wasn't necessarily about honor. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like they couldn't, as like in real life, like obviously everything's different, like how the story actually went, but like they weren't. Jin and his crew weren't going to be able to save the island and his uncle if they stuck to these rigid ways. And I think this also shows, like, as humans and whatnot, we're pretty adaptable. Like, you have to change according to your situation. You have to be like water. You have to,
Water.
Yeah. You have to adapt. And his uncle is not like that at all. He's very rigid. And I think the old head, what was her name? The one that helped you make the poisons.
Oh, Eucurio?
Eucurio or whatever.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Eureka or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's Eureka.
She always,
Eureka.
Yeah, she said that your father always thought he was really rigid, and your dad wasn't.
Eureka, I think is what it was.
Eureka, yes.
Your dad wasn't as kind of honored code no matter what. You don't cross it. He wasn't as like that as Oh my god, I forgot his name. What's his name?
The uncle?
Yeah.
Shimura?
Yeah, Shimuro or whatever.
Yeah, he was very rigid and stuck in his ways.
Before we go any further, what were we saying her name is? Yukiro?
Yuriko.
That's right. That's what it is. Yuriko. I'm gonna forget like 5 times. She suffers from dementia and eventually passes from it. You guys creeped out when you went to the fucking hot spring with her? Because she thinks. Did you pick up that she thinks Jin is his dad?
Yeah.
So there's obviously a fling between those two. Mm-hmm. But like when we went to the hot spring, I'm like, this is weird. I don't like this at all. And then they killed her, and I was like, ah.
Well, for me, it's just kind of not obviously to the same aspect, but like I had a family friend who had dementia, so it's like
my grandmother passed from it.
So it's like totally. I saw like the similarities when obviously the forgetfulness and whatnot.
Well, at first I was like, is this what they're doing? Like, oh yeah, instantly I knew like, this is what they're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was kind of. I don't think it was too weird because it's not like.
No, I know. I was thrown off, and that wasn't where you're sitting here making poison. Next thing you know, you're going to a hot spring together.
I mean, that's just how that game goes. One thing you're killing mongols, next thing you know, you're in a hot spring.
The hot spring is hilarious.
Oh yeah.
I never forget when Jordan told me, he's like, "Yo, did you go to a hot spring yet?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, why? He's like, "You'll see." I'm like. Show him they show him butt ass naked.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously they don't show the front part.
Yeah,
thank Christ.
I would not want to see Jin dick.
Yeah, but you saw Abby getting fucked. So like, what's the point?
Yeah, but I didn't see dick.
So
then there's the difference.
So yeah.
And I didn't like that either.
Back on track. But those side missions are really fun. The side characters.
Oh
missions
yeah, I
are really
thought
good.
like even like characters like Tomoe or however you say it. I mean, I thought her character was really interesting, and he really didn't get to talk to her.
Oh, that's the one with
Tomo?
Tomo. No, it's Tomo. Or is it Tomo? There's an E at the end.
Yeah, but you don't think...
Is it Tomo?
Yeah, I don't think you pronounce it.
That's
the former...
Sensei's...
Yeah, former student.
I'm going to keeping a buck with y'all. I don't remember half the names.
You're bad with names, aren't you?
Occasionally, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I
thought that was really cool. Actually, while we're on the topic of her, right? So, I don't know if you guys saw... People were upset that...
Oh, wow. People were upset?
That you didn't have the...
Jordan. People were upset.
That you didn't
Shocking no one.
have the option to play as a female.
I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, okay.
And then
but this is what I don't like.
And then they said the way that you fix it is next game it has to be a female.
No.
No.
Okay, so Sucker Punch told a story they wanted to tell.
Then there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, but also what people are forgetting to realize, and I don't mean this is going to sound awful.
It's like it's the era.
But the time era, women were not samurai. That's just how it is.
Then
era, women stayed at home and provided meals and stuff like
Unless
that.
you're Yuna.
But she's
Well,
not
there
really
were
a, she's
people
not
who
really
were
a
thieves.
samurai though.
Yeah, she's a thief.
Fair enough.
She's a thief. But the women stayed at home, they cared for the children and all that, and provide meals and stuff, and the men went out and fought.
Or they were a prostitute. That's also something that people go down or whatnot.
Sure, but I mean, okay.
I'm just saying.
No,
yeah, and I that's the thing too. It's like people a lot more nowadays are like just wanting to bend. Like for me, like personally, this is the same way with like Marvel movies didn't bother me because I didn't know about the comics. Like, I don't read the comics. People didn't like they didn't stick to the comics. In my personal opinion, now it doesn't bother me. Like I said, because I don't watch the comics. With the source material, there's no need to change anything.
Yeah.
Like if a character is X race or X gender, just keep them like that. Mm-hmm. There's no need to change it. So especially it's like the time period again. So you're telling a story about a certain time period. You want it to be authentic. Now, I did my own research and whatnot. I watched some videos and whatnot. There were female samurai, but they were bless you. They were not considered the same class. They were still considered a lower class compared to like.
It'd be samurai, like again, going back to the Revolutionary War comparisons. It'd be like they put the slaves on the front line.
Yeah. Whether it's right or wrong,
right.
It's obviously wrong.
It's a product of the time.
It's just the way things were, and people need to understand that. And it's like even the female samurai. I didn't use swords and like that. They use like these kind of longer spears because to keep the distance from the other men.
Mm-hmm. So naginata.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that Nurio uses.
Yeah.
That's my boy. The monk.
Yeah, Nurio is cool.
That path is
transition?
That path is sick. Hey, you guys are shooting. Y'all shooting from the hip. Not as good as my game of the year transition, but
yeah.
I didn't finish all the side ones yet. But I
did all of the main
I know what
quests.
happens because I've been listening to spoiler casts and whatnot, which is fine. I don't need to go through and play them all again. I heard the lady, is it Lady
Masako or Masako? Yeah, it's
Masako.
Masako, yeah. Thank God you're here, yo. You're killing these names. I'm just sitting here like I don't know.
Listen,
she tries to fight you, right?
Oh yeah,
that was epic. Did you like that?
So it's the one mission where you're trying to the monk at Cedar Temple.
You start with a J?
Yes.
Come on, name guy. Anyway.
I can't think of his name right now off the top of my head, but she thinks that he is the one that sent out to was the spy for he was transporting rations and stuff to her clan and all that stuff, and he thinks that he told them about when they were giving the rations and stuff, so he was part of it. And when you went to the temple and she shot that arrow and pierced him through the side of the eye, I was like, oh shit. And then when you fought her, I was like, that's badass.
Yeah.
It's badass.
I didn't get to play that part yet, but
and I mean again it shows the emotional conflict because she is a samurai technically. So she again is doing things that aren't samurai like and you're not supposed to be ruled by her emotions technically. But I mean it just shows the moral conflict between people and then for the samurai code it's I mean especially when your whole family is slaughtered.
She was she's not if you read the stuff and you listen to what they're saying, she's really not a samurai. She was given to be a samurai. Mm-hmm. It's very weird. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, the leader of her clan, Lord Adachi, which is their clan, he was supposed to marry her sister, but he didn't like her older sister, so he actually liked her, so they got married. So she kind of got birthed into the samurai clan family. So she really isn't a samurai, but she is a samurai. It's a weird.
Yeah, I think what's cool about it is you see the revenge that she wants and how that changes how she, kind of we were talking about in The Last of Us with the revenge. She kind of has that same. Yeah. She's kind of blinded by revenge and just wants revenge, and will do whatever for it. Yeah, the Norio is the monk, right? Yeah. I finished his set. I also finished. Is it
Kenji.
That bull is funny.
Oh,
He cracked me up.
Yeah.
I love the mission where you go and you he's like being set up. You gotta go
Yes.
around and kill the bandits.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I like that. I didn't do the Yuno ones yet.
I did the Una ones.
I like the Una ones.
I heard those are pretty fun too.
I like the Una ones. I mean, that's my favorite. She was my favorite.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask that. What is your guys' favorite side character?
Oh, it's her.
Oh, it's Yuna.
Okay,
Yeah.
I agree.
Even without playing her
You know
side
what I'm
missions.
kind of upset about? I wanted them to put them together. I like those two
Nah,
as a dynamic. You
I'm
don't
glad-
think?
What do you mean by put them together?
Like two as a couple.
Nah, we gotta get away with this. We gotta get away from like having to have you have two, a male and a female character, and then have
But
them.
did you guys not think there was something? I took it as
I figured more as
multiple
friends.
times.
Like there's that one cutscene where they drink all the sake.
Yeah, when
And they're just kind of
when they're
bullying that.
defending Yarikawa.
Yeah, and like
which is also
just-
an epic
just
mission.
like-
The first one you unlock ghost mode.
Yeah, just like well, it took me like I didn't get there until like 15 hours into the game.
Yeah.
But
No, like I don't
but
think there
I,
needs to be.
I took them as like friends.
They have a cool little ending thing when like
Mhm.
you finally get like exiled at the whatever you chose at the end, and like you go into your cabin. That's like the retreat
Which
away.
was so cool. We'll get to
Yeah.
that later then too. But
And then they have their nice little parting thing there at the end. But I agree with you. If you are gonna do it, you have to do it right. I'd rather
They gotta do
companies
it.
just
If you're
not.
gonna do it, you gotta do it how Uncharted did it with Nate and Elena.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And kind of set up that relationship. You can't just. It would feel rushed if they did it. I feel like.
Yeah,
in
for
this.
sure.
Because the game doesn't.
Need it. It's not about
If
it.
you
no.
mainline the game, it's not that long of a game.
If you would do just story, it's really not. It's not
But
long.
boy, you're doing yourself a disservice if you do that.
Yeah.
Not only for the, for the game in general and all the other things to do, but like, we'll get into this now. My favorite part of the game was the mythical tales.
Oh, they're awesome.
Those were so cool.
Loved
They're awesome.
those. Every single time you go to the musician was my guy.
Yeah.
I loved him. He cracked me
Yamato.
up. He cracked me up. And everyone was different. My favorite one. I don't know what my favorite one was.
But
My
then
least
which-
favorite one is the.
Which one are you including? Like, so are you including just the 4 where you unlock the abilities? Or are you including all?
I'm
the ones
including
that
all
give
of them.
All of them, okay.
Like with the
let me-
armor and everything
yeah,
too.
Go ahead. Let me think. I'll let you know what mine.
I think my least favorite one is the one where you get the fire blade or whatever.
That was
Because
cool.
that one you're not. I mean, you're.
It's not an epic mission, but to get the fire blade is dope.
Yeah, the fire blade's super useful. I liked.
I would. Okay, go ahead, sorry.
You know what's crazy is I think my favorite one was the first one with the bow. We get the long bow.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that story.
Yeah.
And it was just little stories like that throughout the game that are like
Oh yeah.
super cool and made the game for me.
Well, the thing is, just like, personally for me also, if you cannot tell by the posters, I have an appreciation for kind of just like anime and just Japanese culture in general.
Naruto.
Yeah, and just like Japanese culture in general. So, obviously Japan's a beautiful place. This game shows that.
Mm-hmm.
That this game is like. I mean, I said before, I think this is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. But I mean, the stories and just like the folklore of Japan in general is just super interesting. And again, like I think we talked about it. Maybe I don't know if it was on the pod, but like we talked about it before, where it's just like you don't get these topics talked about enough. Kind of like for example, like the Mongol invasion of like the attempted invasion of Japan. Now, is it completely historically accurate? No, but
Well, you're just talking about Eastern.
yeah, just Eastern history in general is just
Eastern, yeah.
very interesting. Specifically, Japan. I think it's really
Asian history in general.
yeah, I think it's just really cool with what they did, especially how they included the folklore and different like tales of like amazing power that was gained and whatnot. So I mean, I think that was really cool to add.
I'm trying to think what other ones I really liked. I liked the one. I forget what you get from it, but it's the spirit one. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, see, you like the one where you got Heavenly Strike. Or not Heavenly Strike, the Dashing Strike.
Yeah.
The one where you did the 3 attacks. Where you like used 3 of your resolve and it did like the 3
Yeah,
slashing
yeah,
attacks.
I like
See, I
that
didn't
one.
like that one.
Really?
I like that ability, but I didn't like that mission.
You see, I liked
It was a
all of
little-
them. I didn't really dislike.
It was a
the second
little roundabout.
Yeah,
We had to find the white smoke, right?
Yeah, I didn't care for that.
The other thing I like too. Oh, go ahead. I want to hear. Do you know what your favorite one was?
Yeah, so I think my favorite one is the one with the where you get the. It's like the 6 blades of Kojiro or whatever like that. You
The
have to
one where you have to do the
do
6
duel-
duels.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was just about to talk about that.
that one is really really cool.
The duels in this game are so
yes,
cool,
yeah.
I agree.
and they're not necessarily hard, but you can get your ass kicked.
If you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
careful,
I think it's the is it the Sensei armor? What's the armor you get where you have to go into like the waterfall into the cave and you fight like the last guy?
Oh, that is the
Because that guy kicked my ass like 5 times before I beat him.
What armor is that?
I think it's the one you get. I think you have to kill after you kill all 6 of them. I think.
Yeah, you do get a piece of armor from him, but I don't remember which one it is.
Yeah, I don't remember what the armor is called.
Speaking of armor, what armor did you guys like the most?
For what?
Just,
Like appearance or just what I used?
What was your personal favorite armor?
So
what did you use?
I used the Clan Sakai armor because that armor was just really cool looking and I liked the effects that it had. I really liked the
Kosaku?
no. That armor was fucking bulky as shit.
Was it the Mongol Commander?
The Mongol Commander one, yeah. I really liked how that looked, but I didn't use it.
The Khan one?
The Khan one, yeah.
I didn't touch it. I got it. I just didn't use it.
I didn't use it at all, but I liked how it looked.
When I got the Clan Sakai armor is what I used. But I don't know. I just felt like I should have used it, so I used the Ghost armor.
I used the Ghost armor too after the whole thing with the uncle. I'm like, fuck you, I am the Ghost.
Yeah, I just felt like, I don't know.
When you level, but all those armors look so good when you level.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I like the Ronin one too.
Yeah, the Ronin ones were really cool. When you get that cape, when you level it up fully,
then when the bull Rizu betrayed me, I said I can't roll with the Ronin unit. You just
what did you what did you guys think about that? I thought that was a really cool, again, another moral conflict. Like Rizu, he felt like he was supposed to take care of the Straw Hats, right? Mm-hmm. And we obviously don't like what he did because he betrayed the main character.
But he didn't really want to.
Yeah, you could tell he didn't. Like after a while, like he realized, he's like, I think I made a mistake.
Nah.
Well,
fuck that bitch.
He realized that.
Fuck him.
He realized a little too late after I murked him.
After I
absolutely
stabbed my fucking Tonto in his fucking chest, bro.
But I thought, I mean, still, it's just like the moral dilemma of, like protecting your people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, they all have their different motives, and it all kind of is the same like idea. You know what I mean? What else do I want to talk about? Act 2 into Act 3 really threw me off. I wasn't expecting his uncle to fully like keep him captive and everything. Yeah.
I thought there would be a little bit more bending of the code, and you probably felt the same way. I thought he would bend the code, especially because how he felt how he felt about Jin and how he viewed Jin. I thought he would be a little bit more bending of the.
Give him a little more leeway.
Yeah, and he was
not
stone cold on his.
He was as rigid as they said he was.
Yeah.
I think it shows. I think it's also a metaphor for just generations in general.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just in life,
I mean, look at right now.
Our parents' generation's a little different from what they're stuck. Their beliefs are compared to us, where maybe we're a little more free thinking than they are in certain cases.
Each generation gets more progressive.
Well, exactly. That's the point I'm driving at. Act 3 was cool because like all your allies you had were still with you.
Yes.
And that was really cool.
It was cool that first little section, like you're exiled, like you literally have to like go around and like do shit without the help of pretty much anybody except Yuna and the people that have been with you from the beginning.
And I think that also shows what you were saying about how he was rigid and stuck in his ways. It also shows with Sensei and Makasimo, or whatever her name was.
Bailey's so bad with names. I can't remember them, but you can't say them right, which is funnier.
Masako.
What was it?
Masako.
That was close enough.
Okay. Well, you watch all this anime, you can get like
all their names.
Naruto, and you can't get Masako.
You can get everybody off of fucking.
Yeah, I can. Ram.
Yeah.
Beatrice.
Beatrice. Which one's Beatrice?
That's Beatrice. Amelia. I forget her name. She's not really.
Who's this? She's kind of a bad bitch.
That's Amelia. Nah, Rem's best girl. And then
that's a conversation for another day.
Subaru.
Subaru?
Yeah, Subaru. Like the car.
What is he? Is he an Impreza?
What?
Is he an Impreza or is he an Outback?
He's probably. Let me see. Turn.
He's main character.
Oh, he definitely like a fucking.
It's like an Easy.
He's a Forester.
What are you guys talking about?
Subaru cars. The different Subaru. He said Forester. That's awesome. What were we talking about?
We're talking about that.
Okay, like I was saying about how.
What was it?
I'm not saying it again because you're making fun of me. But those two are also older people of a different generation than Jin. But like it shows that like you can still, like I said, you need to adapt with the times. It shows like they were still understanding and realized that you have to change if you want to win this war.
Yeah.
And they understood why Jin did what he did. But like the Shogunate and like his people obviously show a much more rigidness.
Did you guys catch like when the uncle basically banishes you to the nether realm? You catch how he tore up that piece of paper?
Yeah.
That was the adoption papers?
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I listened to some other stuff. I was trying to figure out what that was. I thought maybe it was like him taking over or like Jin's place after, or him taking over the reins basically.
You see, the thing for me is I didn't even want him to be adopted as his son because I feel like
either.
Jin should carry on the Sakai.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah, I'm glad they kind of steered away from that as well. It was a really cool moment though, like with them when you.
Even though Clan Sakai gets abolished anyway, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it does, but
he still carries it on.
Exactly. I don't think it truly. It'll
But
die with.
the clan
him.
itself
Unless he has
is
kids.
no more, but he is still.
I think him and Yuna and those people are kind of a resemblance of that too.
Yeah, but
It's
I meant
resemblance of
like
a
the
change.
name
Yeah.
Sakai.
Yeah.
Is like
I know what you mean.
No more.
I know what you mean.
But it was a cool moment with him when you like snuck back into the castle and delivered that.
No, yeah.
No.
Oh yes, that was one of my favorite parts of the game.
And
Dude, okay. Since we're just go finish what you're gonna say.
that's.
Is that what you're gonna say?
I was gonna say. Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of getting there. That last mission is fucking badass. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we touch on this?
I want to talk about graphics, but you can talk about that after.
Do you want to finish the story? And
Are
then
we
talk about
talking
the
the
graphics?
last mission where you kill the Khan, or are you talking the last mission?
I think the last mission
No,
of Act 3,
like
like the last mission
Okay,
of
so
Act
when you
3.
kill the Khan.
When you kill, I felt like that was so epic.
Did you like the battle at the end?
No, I rather of them continued where
The
you was just a
one-on-one?
standoff one on
Okay, so we all agree with that.
Yeah, because it was so easy to cheese him. I just ended up running around shooting arrows at him after I killed all the ads. It felt like a basic boss fight at the end, which like it didn't really bother me. It just felt kind of dragged out because I rather have done a one-on-one and fight him instead of where I felt like I could just train essentially. It felt like a basic RPG. Kill the ads, get the big boss, lower his health, ads come out, finish the ads, rinse and repeat.
Jinx.
Yeah.
I think. See, I'm not sure I liked it, but I understand why they did it because they led into such a like you're going this way, and then all of a sudden the story goes this way.
Yeah.
So like I understand after playing it, but at the time I was a little disappointed because it's a very like
But
the
the
one-on-one, even like the duel, like he did literally all the same moves that you did
Yeah.
when
The
you
duel
fought
wasn't
him.
very tough.
No, like
Yeah.
all of the duel moves were the same when you fought him on the bridge. I don't know how far we can touch on that real quick.
Oh no, I want to.
How far did you guys get on the bridge?
I know you're very far because they hit me once and I was fucking dead.
I
was
got my ass
okay.
kicked,
I got
bro.
pretty far. Like I got him like halfway down,
Well,
and I was
I just
like,
want to
I
let
wonder
you-
what happened.
I will tell you what
Well,
happens.
I
Did
know
you
what
see the
happens.
video?
I know what
Yeah,
happens.
Nothing. He just gets stuck at 0%
Like
health. You can't kill him.
he can be at 0%, and he's still just sitting there beating your ass.
Yeah.
You
See,
have to
he
get
won't
thrown
die.
off.
I didn't know that.
I watched
Yeah.
the video.
I didn't
You
even think
have
of
to
that.
get thrown off the bridge. Like you can't kill him.
Which I thought would have been pretty funny because like it called back to a different game, but with like Far Cry 3 or 4, you can
yeah.
kill him in the very beginning.
I
You just
know.
fucking shoot him. It's a whole different game.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
If you in the beginning of Far Cry 4, I don't know if you'd ever go back and play it. You probably won't. But if you kill him at the beginning, you play a completely different game.
What
Pretty much
would
ends.
the game be like if you?
Well, somebody was saying they were saying like it could have been so cool. Like I saw this video. I don't have any.
We probably watched the same
quoting
one.
it, but they're saying if you killed him at the beginning, then like you could go around and just do like what would it be like to be eliminating this whole Mongol
Because you would have never
force
lost.
as a samurai.
Yeah, you would never have lost the honor.
You never would have lost your honor. So what would it be like going around as Jin Sakai, potentially the son of Lord
And then
Shimura?
again, that's not the story they wanted to
that
tell. So
sounds.
they have
I'm
creative
glad they
freedom.
didn't do that because that sounds boring as fuck.
Maybe.
Because I played Ghost Tactics.
See, I
Pretty much. Because I love the ghost weapons, the smoke bomb,
I
the
didn't
chain assassinations.
didn't use the smoke bomb at all.
Dude,
Yeah,
that shit's super
neither did
effective.
I did.
The
I know you
kunais
could,
were OP.
I know
I
you
used
could
the
use
fuck
it.
out of
I know you
those.
could use it for like chain assassinating and stuff. Didn't use that
Because
shit.
you can
at all.
upgrade
use
it.
chain
You can
assassination.
upgrade it where if you throw the smoke bomb, it also raises your health a little
Yes.
bit, like regain some of your
I
health.
mean, I had the whole fucking tree unlocked. I just
Yeah.
didn't use them.
So is there any other positives we talk about? You want to talk about the graphics
I
now?
want to talk about the ghost weapons a little bit.
Wait.
'cause-
Before we get into the graphics and everything, we gotta just finish the game off. We're
Well,
already-
no, I
talk
want
about
to
the story
I want to
for-
talk about ghost weapons real quick. Let's talk about that real quick,
Okay.
and then we'll talk about the end. The ghost weapons were sick.
Oh yeah.
The kunais were sick. The sticky
blow
bomb.
torch?
Yeah, the
Bro, the hallucination poison.
they were brutal.
That was
like they
awesome.
Were,
It was
they
ugly,
were
bro.
OP.
It
Yeah,
was
they
ugly.
were really brutal. Like it really did, I think, a good... I mean, the whole game did a really good depiction of what it would be like. But, like, when you shot somebody and they, like, spit the blood out and they were sitting, like, convulsing on the ground.
And that mission where you poisoned the whole, like, water supply or whatever?
Yeah, that shit was fucking crazy.
That was lit.
It was brutal.
That's when the uncle was pissed.
Yeah.
I don't...
Fuck him anyway.
He was no longer my son.
The ghost weapons, like I said to you guys, I know I said this before, but the ghost weapons were OP as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, they were super...
Yeah. Dude, you can upgrade to get, like, 4 kunai throw, and you could fucking end people with those.
I had that shit early, too.
Yeah.
Because that shit helped me so much.
Well, I had the max standoff, too, so, like, it could be, like, an encampment of, like, 5 people. I'd stand off, just kill the whole encampment and stand off, and that was it.
Before we get into the end of the game, do we want to talk about the end of the game, or do you want to talk about the combat?
Let's talk about the end of the game, and then we can talk about the combat, because I think the combat's not... There's not too much to talk about the combat, and I don't think there's too much to talk about graphics, too. So.
Well, I have some things I want to talk about the combat.
Okay.
I do want to, at the very end, when we're finished talking about this, I want to talk about what negatives did you guys have.
Yeah, we can do that. So let's talk about the end.
Did you kill the uncle?
Oh, absolutely.
Did you kill the uncle?
No,
I didn't either.
I fucked his ass up.
Now, what made you... Why'd you do it?
Okay, so here's my thought. So with how you were treated with Jin, like the first half, right? Like you were supposed to be his heir. He was like fully behind you 100%. And then like when you started doing the ghost tactics to like take back the castle, like he kind of there's that like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but like that like backlash. Like you were battling each other. And then when like he slapped him when they were talking about like
that was right after the poison.
No, that was right before the poison. That was right before you get the Sakai, the ghost armor from Yuna.
You're right.
That was right before. Yeah. And then like that's when like I kind of separated from him. I was like, all right, yeah, like he's not backing you. Like you're trying to do what's best for the island, and he's not for it. So something needs to change, either him or you. So I was like, fuck it, I'm riding with Jin, obviously, because you have to. But I was like fully backing him. So then when that whole like exile thing happened, I was like, oh yeah, like I'm completely done with him.
So you didn't like the uncle?
No, I did like him. But I just didn't like how he treated you. So that kind of pushed me away. Like, and I know there's that whole like backstory, and that like it was really hard for me to choose. Like, I probably sat on that screen for a good 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, would you before I reply to you, did you guys expect that to happen?
No.
Did you expect that choice?
No.
That totally threw me off.
No, yeah.
I didn't want to fight him.
I wanted to fight him, but I didn't want to have the choice. I wanted to fight him. I just wanted to beat his ass.
You were hoping it was this kind of reverse of Last of Us 2, where a lot of people thought at the end you were going to have the choice to let Abby live or kill her.
Yeah.
You kind of wish it would have just not given you the choice.
Yeah, no choice.
And
I just
let the story
if you killed him, you killed him. If you beat him, and then you like, we're done. I don't, you're gonna hunt me or whatever. And then you just walked away. I would have been happy with both. I was happy with both because I went and watched what happened if you let him live. I'm happy with both endings.
I'm assuming I didn't watch the one if you kill him, like he probably says like thank you or some shit because he wants to get the samurai's death or whatever.
So if you honor him with a death, okay, you pull out your Tanto, which is your mini
the assassination blade.
Yeah, your mini assassination katana, whatever. You get down on your knees like you're hunting him, and like you put your arm on his shoulder. He puts his arm like on your forearm here, and you say like, "You will be." You
sing Kumbaya.
No. He says like a whole little spiel. He says like, "You will be remembered as like a great leader, a loving something," and then he says, "and a loving father." That's like the very last thing he says, and then Shimura says, "Make sure you find me in the other life." And then that's when you stab him, and then Jin just like cries, and then it cuts to the end scene.
You also get different colored armor depending on your choice.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get.
So ours is red.
Ours is red. You get white
if you
choose what he did.
But did you notice? I'll let you guys talk then. But did you notice? And I don't know if it was just me, and I don't know if they did this on purpose. But as you're walking to where your dad is buried. Did you notice the yin and yang?
Yes.
Oh my god, I saw
the red and white
that
flowers?
And I was like, bro, that is amazing.
I didn't notice it while I was playing, but now you say about it, I think back to
because the red petals are forming in, and then there's a red little patch of petals on the white side, and then the white forms in with a little white patch on your side, and just that like clash of two figures.
I've never looked at a game so pretty while killing people.
There is a ton of symbolism in this game.
Yes,
absolutely.
We talked about the weather.
Yes.
When you assassinate people, especially early on, you'll hear thunder.
Yeah.
When you assassinate him.
It feels like a movie.
And as you progress on, like I said to you, the weather's like super sunny at the beginning, and as you get towards the end of the game, after you fully embrace that ghost, like it is always raining.
So does that depend on how you play? So if you
No, that doesn't depend on how you play. Because I didn't do a whole lot of the assassination stuff, but just as you get like the blowpipe and all that, as you embrace the ghost role, whether you use the ghost abilities or not, the weather gets real shitty.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to just kind of make that noise. But we had the games on over here, which you may saw me with the remote, but we put on the Denver and Lakers game, and Jamal Murray just did a spin bounce pass in the lane, and it was
good pass by LeBron there.
Yeah,
not my goat.
Not my goat either.
Ooh, good D though.
Yeah. So there's a ton of symbolism in the game, which I like, and I like how it's not in your face. Like there's no meter saying you're the ghost or you're a samurai, which I'm so glad. I want to ask you because I've listened to a few people talk about how they ended the game and what they thought, and one of the guys who decided to kill the uncle did it because they really liked the uncle and they wanted to give the uncle that honorable death.
And that was kind of
which is interesting to me because you're saying about how you decided you were going to kill him early on.
Yeah.
Because it's either he keeps leading us into basically suicide or not. And that's one way to look at it. There's multiple perspectives to choices.
And that's a good point because like I feel like if you would have did like a ghost assassination on him, like that wouldn't have been like wouldn't be a fitting end to somebody as revered as he was.
That's why I just walked away.
Yeah.
Because
for me,
I want to hear what you guys. Why did you guys save him?
So what got to me was the flashbacks in the game. And
that ending flash.
Well, that's half the reason why I was like, I can't do this. And like, sure, you're still gonna hunt him and whatnot, but I guess my thought process was that the uncle's gonna have a change of heart somewhere down the line. Maybe like after the Mongols are all out or whatever in this future that it might be written already, might not be. But
I think we'll get a second game. Do you guys think we'll get a second game?
Oh, absolutely.
I think we definitely do.
I don't know.
I want one.
I don't know if I want one, but I think we'll get one.
Oh, I definitely want one. I 1,000% want one. But
the problem is
but I don't know where.
Where does it go?
Well, that's the thing.
Where does it go?
Because you have two different endings. So that's what part of me thinks.
Well, there was a second Mongol invasion.
I understand.
True,
but I don't want to do it all again.
But how do you continue Jin's story?
But the problem...
You could honestly, you could take we're getting a little off track here, but you could take his story of, you could just, kind of, because it's not completely authentic to the real story, because obviously Tsushima gets shit watched.
It's still fiction.
So what you could do is just
shit watched.
Yeah, Tsushima gets fucked up twice. But you could just kind of tell the story of Jin and his crew as he fights, as he tries to live while being hunted the rest of his life. I mean, you could even tell a story where he possibly catches a boat to China, and because that's where Tomo's going. So you could kind of incorporate those two characters more.
Different pieces of Asia.
Or you could even do Korea.
I feel like that'd be super basic.
No, I'm just saying,
I feel like that's super basic because the problem is like if you killed him, right? Like,
well, the Shogunate's still gonna want you dead.
Well, the Shogun's still gonna want you dead, but at the same time, like, where are you gonna be? You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
and that's why I think it's going to be hard for there to be a direct sequel because...
he'd be a man on the run.
But the problem with that is he's a man on the run either way, right?
Yeah.
But giving player choice at the end, how do you start that next game?
That's exactly what I mean.
You know what I mean? Whereas if they would have if everybody's ending was that he just killed his uncle, right?
Well, hold on. Now, there are some games that have choice endings where the next game, it follows as if you did something else. I forget what game it is, but there is a game where it does do that.
Mass Effect?
Is it? It might be. But Mass Effect, yeah, it's one game where it's heavy choice, but it's still gonna go through what you chose. Now, another thing they could do. Well, actually, now they couldn't do this.
Well, there has been plenty of games where like they still had a sequel. I'm just trying to think in how it ends, because like for us, right? If we started the game, Jordan killed the uncle. What if the uncle's alive? For his game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying for me.
Unless they just totally...
Which I would be okay with. Like, don't get me wrong, I'd be okay with that, but...
But a part of me would feel like, this wasn't my game.
Yeah.
True, but I think, like, I never... In games in the past where I played, like I said, where I made a choice, but the choice in the second game was different from what I chose, I didn't feel discredited. I just felt like they wanted to do a sequel. They wanted to tell another story. Not saying what you did was right or wrong, but they needed X, Y, and Z to happen for there to be a sequel to continue. Because at the end of the day, it's also business.
Well,
you have to understand that they're trying to make money.
Absolutely.
So, like, that's not going to upset me if they did something like that. Maybe some people get rubbed the wrong way by it.
Unless what they could do too is they could have a gap where like maybe there's like 10 years in time between the first and the second, and the uncle falls in combat anyway.
Yeah,
so then even if you let him walk or you kill him, falling in combat could be Jin killing him, and falling in combat to us could be like, oh, he just died.
That's also
he died in war, something like that.
That could be, and you could have a new,
or you could just have a totally different.
You could have a new Lord rise to power, but then my problem is and I get what you're both saying, but where do you go from there? Because so the second Mongol invasion happens, do you just have a whole nother Kotal Khan situation? How do you?
Thing. Like I said, you could just do a completely different story where you don't even have to associate with the Mongols. Essentially, you could just tell another story about Jin and his tales. But for me, I think, like you said, like who knows? Like I said, they could do something where he eventually travels to China and meets with Tomo, or because I think she's a really interesting character, and I'd like her to explore
Yuna wants to go. Yuna wants to leave too.
Yeah, exactly.
What if you played the second game as Yuna?
That'd be cool.
I mean, the thing is, like, it would be cool. But I feel like the name Ghost of Tsushima 2 would not be... It wouldn't be a Ghost of Tsushima. Because you're not a...
But Yuna plays a huge role in you becoming the Ghost of Tsushima.
I agree, but like this...
I know what you're saying. I'm just saying,
because like the Ghost is somebody who, is a fallen shinobi... Well, not shinobi.
Right.
A fallen samurai at this point. I mean, I'm fine with them incorporating Yuna. Because again, like, I love Yuna's character. I think she's a great character.
If they do I think they will do a second one because I think this game sold way too well for there not to be.
Too good.
And I'm so glad it did because it's fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Where was I going with this point? I'd also be alright if they just let it alone.
No, that's fine too. But I mean,
I just don't think Sucker Punch is gonna leave that money on the table.
No,
because they could.
Not.
I guarantee you they have something already. in the works.
I saw somewhere on Twitter that like this was the second highest selling game ever in Japan.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
You see, that's the thing, and. Back to what I was saying earlier about how some people in the West were criticizing it, and it's just kind of like how things go anymore. Like you said, like it's selling well in Japan. The people of Japan, what this game is about, because a lot of people were also complaining that they didn't show struggle in class and this, that, and the third. But it's like people in Japan who this is their history. Mm-hmm. They love this. They're not offended by it. This is their history. It's how it went. Why are we like?
Because Westerners always make things about them.
Exactly. I mean, I agree.
Americans and Europeans.
It's just. I don't know. It's like the people of Japan love this game. It did obviously. George.
Were you the one who was telling me, or was this the podcast I was listening to that there's a Japanese-based publisher, or not publisher, but like publication that reviews games. This is the only game they've given like a perfect score.
I did not know that, but that's fucking.
They've never given a game a perfect score until this one.
I mean, that just shows how awesome this game is. Like honestly, like I don't have a cap to tip. You both do, but hats off to Sucker Punch.
Because the podcast I was listening to had one of the head guys of Sucker Punch on there.
Yes.
And they were saying about how much the team loved learning the history.
Oh, dude.
And have you seen like I don't know if you've seen on Twitter. You probably have that like. Voice actors of like Lady
Masako.
Thank you, Lady Masako, and like those side characters. When they saw the final product, they were like super happy, and they're all Japanese casted. You know, there's not like some random white dude who voices Jin. You know.
Yeah.
So they wanted to get it right, and I'm so happy to see that everybody in Japan loves the game.
Well, yeah,
and that goes to Sucker Punch for doing their research.
Oh yeah.
You know, you can't do this without really.
And
you know,
they
went to the islands.
I'm a history buff in general, so it's like to see, especially because I said it before to you guys, Eastern history is harder to come by just because they didn't keep things as documented as the West did. The West got into keeping like history books a lot sooner than the East. So there's a lot of history that we still don't know. Mm-hmm. I mean, even with the Khans, like the Mongols in general, like there's still a lot of history we don't know. So anytime that there's something where you even like through a video game, I think it's still cool that like obviously it's not completely accurate, but they tell you, I mean, a lot about what the time period was kind of like in Eastern Asia. Mm-hmm. Well, not Eastern Asia, but Japan. Well, yeah, I guess you could say Eastern Asia because the Mongols did invade and whatnot. So, but I mean, they just did a really good job, and like you said, the people in Japan love it. So I'm just glad they did it right. The people obviously love it, and I'm just glad it's doing well. And it was cool to like just get that more about that because, like I said to you guys also, there's not too many games that deal with like that kind of time period or whatnot.
No, that's not.
Let's talk about the combat. So we talked about the ghost weapons a little bit. I want to talk about the stances.
Sure.
And how that switched up the combat and how you had to. I remember complaining to you, Jordan. I think I told you too about how I was a little bummed there was no lock on. And again, in this podcast I was listening to, they said about how the guy from Sucker Punch said that a samurai was supposed to flow in between blades and kind of a rhythm to their fighting style. So I couldn't do that as well as I wished. I still kind of took one or two at a time. But I really like the stances because then it switches up combat a little bit and makes you kind of go on the fly and think. I liked that. That's all I really wanted to say. I liked how you unlocked the stances. I liked how you could eventually like execute.
Yes.
I love how when you had the ghost armor on. Did you play with ghost armor all that much?
A little, but not too much.
So when you start to upgrade it, one of the perks is it gives you after you kill an enemy, it gives you a higher chance of surrounding enemies to be afraid of you.
Terrifying.
And those take off.
And
This shit's hilarious.
It also lowers the resolve to do things. Or what was it? It
lowered you needed one less kill for your ghost. Ghost stance.
Yeah. So it's actually hilarious because they started running and I was like,
they'll fall over and shit.
I hit it right in the back.
Since I had my tree fully upgraded, I had the one where like if you perfect parried, it had a chance that enemies ran in fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the one charm where like perfect parries and all that stuff were easier to do. Dude, I was perfect parrying like crazy, and people just fucking backing up on the ground. I just went over, hit square, and just...
I love the end suffering.
Yeah,
that was
amazing.
awesome.
I love slaughter. This sounds so weird, but like I love slaughtering like the commanders and stuff.
Yeah,
because
like, you just slice their heads off.
You go and stab them in the back and then just...
You know what it kind of reminds me of like in Black Panther? This is your king, or whatever it is. It's this is your leader. Like, this bitch just got fucked up. Like...
Yeah, it's... The gameplay is not anything over the top, but it's just so well done, and like it's
fluid. It's very fluid.
I will say, like the only thing that I disliked about it is some kind of. I didn't have too many problems, but the camera was kind of weird sometimes.
See, I like the camera,
and I didn't have any problem with the camera.
Some people said they had some bad problems with the camera.
No,
y'all see that? Y'all see that video?
Oh, I know
the guy
what you're
that goes
gonna say.
You go into like one of the zones you're not supposed to be in, like early on, and the fucking arrows just hit you.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh yeah, there was some glitches that I didn't have, but I saw some people were.
I had some glitches with my horse. My horse was doing all sorts of shit, bro.
Glitches. The only glitch that I really encountered the one time is I was fighting one of the shield guys, and I like heavily striked him. So you know, like when you slash through him, like your sword was kind of at like that forward stance, like that. Well, when I turned around, I was supposed to be in like the water stance, right? So your sword's like up super high, and my sword's just down here on the ground, and you're just like dragging it on the ground. He's just like spinning in a circle with a sword out like this.
It was like me in The Last of Us 2 when Ellie's hand was all sorts of fucked up.
Yeah.
That shit was
the only glitch I had though. Other than that, like it ran like honestly, the game is polished.
I barely had any like. I'm gonna sound like Jordan for a second, but like frame drops and shit. It was
smooth.
Let's just transition into the. Do you have anything to say about the combat?
No, I liked it. Yeah. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
I will say one thing. This isn't necessarily combat. It's more movement. So there's semi-parkour elements.
Oh, yeah.
And this isn't a diss to, like, this game or Sucker Punch. And this is, I've talked about it before, but the Black Hokage did his review on this, and he brought this up, and I thought it was a really good point. And, I mean, this game shows, like, one of the parkour, it's not great, but it's not bad. Mm-hmm. It shows how good Assassin's Creed parkour is. Like, it is on another
level.
How
hard it is to program
get the parkour right. Yeah, like, same kind of like where Mirror's Edge is like a parkour game that does it really well, but for like a third person kind of like, Assassin's Creed's an RPG, like open world.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it's, like, it shows, like, and again, they did their good job in their own way, but it shows how good Assassin's Creed parkour is.
Well, Assassin's Creed's also been making the same game for 20 years, so...
So once you get that formula, he's got a good point.
That's true.
And, I mean, Sucker Punch said...
And that's no diss to Assassin's Creed either. Like, those games are still...
They're still great.
Great.
We're looking forward to Valhalla.
Yeah, like you've really just been making the same game for just a different story and different...
Since PS3.
Yeah.
You know what I will say with that is, like, I know we're kind of getting off topic, but that's welcome to the pod. But,
welcome to the pod.
This is as on topic as we've been in the last few weeks.
Yeah. But, like... you don't see too many. Again, like that's another example of a story told that you don't see told often, like about assassins and whatnot, and like kind of like
Vikings.
Yeah, so it's just like again, it's like you said, same formula, but sometimes hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, like in Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's like the same game. I mean,
occasionally.
Look at sports games.
Well, I mean, sports games are a little different because
No, yeah, I
you're not gonna put fucking jetpacks in 2K21. Like, so now you can
don't give them an idea.
Now you can make. Well, that should be kind of lit.
Yeah, you can't put jetpacks, but you can just have the same.
Well, you can do the bounce. You can do the cages.
True.
You can just have the same shitty fucking gameplay for 17 years, and you still make money because of packs.
True, but you're defining every sports game known to man.
That's my point.
Yeah. I want to talk. The last bit I want to talk about before we give our kind of, graphics and all that stuff is the world.
Oh my god.
You were talking about how pretty it is. It is beautiful. It's very diverse.
Each zone is different.
Yeah. Little touches like you're riding through the grass and Jin puts his arm down just to kind of.
Oh yeah, I noticed that right away.
What did you guys think of like the shrines and the fox
shit was
dens
cool.
and the
The
hot springs, the haikus.
Yeah. Oh my god.
As an
that was
English
so much
major, the
fun.
haikus, I loved that.
Yes.
Shit.
I mean, I'm not even an English major, and I love that.
Did you mix and match them?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I always
me too.
try. I always read each option and,
Yeah, me
and
too.
always tried to
Me too.
make which option I like the best.
Yeah. That is
thought it
again
was-
like small things like that, like the bamboo strike and all that. That was so
Oh,
much
the
fun.
bamboo strike was.
yeah.
Bro, I got pissed one time though because it's like
I did
it's like
pretty good on them.
it's like X triangle L1 X triangle. I'm like, and all
Yeah, you're
I,
trying to fucking.
I got
I'm
like
sitting
6
there
of them,
repeating it in my head as I'm waiting to do it, like just to make sure I get it right.
Yeah, you have
sometimes you get lucky where it's like XXL1 and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, I got this in the bag.
Oh yeah,
But
it's
things like that, like, it takes away kind of gameplay stuff where like it sure makes you better, but it still feels authentic.
yeah.
You know, you can pet the foxes.
Oh,
which is
I love
fun.
that.
Dude, if you didn't pet the fox, you're a fucked up human
love
being. That shit
that.
was great.
Did you guys do the one where the
It
Mongols
was like
killed
all the foxes. Oh, I
Yeah.
went in there and fucked
Dude,
them all.
yeah,
there.
it wasn't
Oh,
pretty. And the
man.
one fox leads you to it.
Yeah.
Bro, I
Oh
fucked them
no,
all
it
up.
wasn't pretty for them. Let me tell you,
I
it
fucked
was
them all
not
up.
You
pretty.
touch my fox, you get fucked up.
That's
Something
right.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. I mean, that was.
Was not good.
We don't abuse animals.
Oh,
over
did you
here.
guys ever kill any of the deer accidentally?
I didn't even know you could kill the deer.
I didn't
You
The
can,
deer
but
is deer.
it's looked down upon. I was reading that during like a loaded screen.
Is it?
It's like, yeah, they're like, it's frowned upon in Tsushima to kill the deer. And I'm like, well, good. I've been killing the fucking hogs or whatever they are.
Yeah, the
just to get
fucking
predator
boars and
hides.
the boars and the
And the
bears.
fucking Mongol dogs,
Man, I didn't
bro.
know the fucking
They
bears.
were fucking annoying.
The bears you could just shoot with the fucking bow. The first
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah,
five
you
of them.
shoot them in the head and they're done.
Yeah, why the first 5 of them I tried to
Try
fight with a sword. Oh my god.
Same with the dogs.
Yeah.
You shoot the dog, they're done.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to fight those with a sword too. That's not easy.
But
What
the
did you
dogs
think
were
of?
annoying.
What do you think of the listening mode? Did you use it much, or
Yeah.
I used it a lot?
Yeah.
Just because I wanted to play as Ghost a little bit more here and there.
Yeah, certain parts, like a lot of the like main.
I don't know if
story-
it was necessary, but
main story stuff. I used the listening mode a decent amount, but
I wish they would have introduced like the hawks earlier.
yeah,
That would have been made the game a little bit hard. And I don't know about you guys, but like the standoffs at the beginning were super easy, and then when you get into Act 3,
bro.
that
When they like,
motherfuckers be flinching and shit. I'm
dude,
like,
well, bro, they flinched like at least I don't know for you.
and
guys.
you gotta get the timing like spot on.
Dude,
else.
they
You're
were
getting fucked up.
they were flinching like 2 or 3 times
Yeah,
in that
3
third
times.
act.
Yeah.
Like, God,
I'm sitting here like,
damn.
pussy just come at you. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you waiting for?
Bro, and the thing what fucked me up, right, is like you're doing a standoff and it's all the samurais like in the second act, right? You fuck up, your health's the fucking one.
Oh,
I'm
they,
like,
against the straw hats.
yeah.
Yeah, but do you realize that it's the easy way to kill the straw hats? You just dome them with an arrow. That's all you gotta do. They're kind of tough. They were kind of tough.
They-
The
they-
well,
first
they're
one I
good
faced-
swordsmen. That's why they.
Well, the first one I faced, I was like, damn. And I'm like, wait a second.
Wait a minute.
Yeet, boom,
Well,
he's
dude,
dead.
a lot of like one of my friends who was playing it, who beat it with me, he was saying like, dude, a lot of the times like the standoff's not even worth it. Like just literally, if you're in that standoff area, just hop off your horse and just fucking shoot them all with the bow, and then just keep on going.
That's
like,
why I ghosted most of it, because I just used my bow and arrow.
Yeah.
I was just doming people.
So I guess in that aspect, if you're counting the bows,
because it technically is.
if you're counting the bow in the ghost aspect, then I was probably 50-50. I would
Well,
say
here's
I
the
was
thing
split.
in like actual like Japanese like the samurais were primarily horse riders.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say it was that like they were mainly archers. Obviously they did a lot of blade work, but they were mainly mounted archers on. So it's I wouldn't say that's too ghost like.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, when I'm at least the way I used the bow was they didn't know I was there, so that's ghost like because I'm just fucking doming them with
yeah,
the
they're-
bow.
they're-
yeah, that's what I was also wondering. Like, do they have to be like, yo?
Yeah. Probably.
And then, but like,
Hey, over here.
Hey, over here.
hey, yo, I got next. Just fucking
Yeah.
dome them.
No, but I guess if you're counting the bow, that's probably 50-50. I mean, I did a good mix of everything.
Yeah, you know what annoyed me?
That's what's nice about this game is you have variety of combat. I love that.
You know what annoyed me, right? In the beginning of the game where you have that outfit and then you go to get the bow from Sensei and it's like, this fight doesn't fuck with my fit. Like, it's a different color.
Oh yeah, like the
half bow?
the merchant guys that sell you the.
Oh, that was cool.
Did you guys find the dark one that sells you
The
like
black one?
all black?
Yeah,
Bro,
yeah.
that shit's. Do you find him?
I don't know if I found him, but I saw it.
I just
There's
stumbled
two.
upon him.
There's
I stumbled
two
upon
special.
one of them.
There's two special ones. There's one that sold you all black, and there's one that sold you all white.
Really?
The all
I didn't
white
find the all
one.
white. I found
Dude,
the
the
all
all white Ronin armor.
Probably look like you.
Yeah.
Yes. It literally was like my complexion on armor. It was amazing. I loved it.
I don't know about amazing, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, all white armor and all black armor, like, really cool.
Just aesthetically, that is appealing, and like the red armor that
especially
you get,
for that game.
Yeah.
This is little, and it's like kind of storyline. I know we joked around about it a little bit. Bro, when my horse died, I was fucking burnt.
We didn't talk about that.
I went the all black and chose Kage because Kage is Shadow.
As the second one, right?
No, it's the first one.
Oh, okay.
That's the first. I flipped the coin between the white and black. I didn't know which one to choose, so I just like flipped. I had to like give Siri flip a coin, but
Bailey's against systemic racism.
Yeah, I chose.
And then the second time around, I went all white, and then I forget what the name for it was, but I chose the one that was like Sky or whatever.
That's why I chose my second one too.
Yeah.
But my first one, I chose the. I chose Kage too, but I was just thinking more because like the shadow fits the like theme of the whole game. Like you're supposed to be this ghost character, so like your horse is a shadow. It's like supposed to resemble you. So that's why I picked that name. Not anything to do with the horse.
I had my first horse was white and it was Nobu. I forgot what that stood for. I think it was like
that was either peace or wisdom. One of those.
I think it was peace. And the second one went black and was Kage a choice for the second one?
Kage was Shadow.
Yeah,
Well, the name choice was the one you didn't previously. It was
okay,
just like
so I had Kage for the second one.
Yeah, it gave you another one.
But that shit was fucked up, bro.
Yeah, man, they killed it. Like, and then they have like the marked location as a noble, like it was something like a noble friend or something like that.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
And I was just sitting there like, y'all really try to make me cry.
I'm gonna have to go home and visit Nobu.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah. What else? What else you guys want to talk about? Anything we haven't? Really...
I don't.
You said you wanted to talk about like any negatives.
Yeah, like so. I guess the negatives I could say was like kind of like for me, not personally, but from what I've seen, like kind of like somewhat bad camera and whatnot. I mean, honestly, fuck that. This game didn't have that many negatives. We kind of touched base on like what I wanted to say about.
I think for me was it starts out kind of slow, which is fine.
Nah, man, that starts off hot as fuck. You're on the beach.
I mean, after that.
Okay.
I mean, once you escape the camp and everything, and you're kind of out, because you don't really know what to do, and you're kind of like, oh, okay, you know.
They had to pace it.
Yeah, I know, and it takes off eventually, so it's not really a negative in general. It was just it took me a little bit to get into it, but once I was into it,
you went from 100 to 0. Not 0, but
it
slows you down.
Yeah, but it's a classic, start off real strong and then kind of build back up.
Build the world and whatnot.
I said about mission variety, I wish there was a little bit more. I don't know what else you would really do.
We all like Yuna as our favorite side character. What was your favorite side quest, the story? Mine was Sensei's. I loved his story the most.
Like you mean the character's
quest? Like what was your favorite side quest of like the character?
So I only fully finished 2 of them.
Yeah, but you know the rest of them. You can still like one without...
I like Sensei's.
Yeah.
I liked... Norio's is fine.
Mm-hmm. That took a very dark turn at the end. I did not expect this.
Well, you could see his influence of wanting to be like the ghost in his a lot.
Again, that kind of plays with because they were monks and they were about being peaceful, and that should change quick because you can't be peaceful against Mongols.
No, you're a warrior monk.
Well, you can't be peaceful when you're burning somebody alive.
That too.
It is what it is.
I don't know.
They're all relatively good though. I thought Kenji's was funny because it's like he's like, you don't have to keep doing this. Like you can do it. And he's like, okay, like Kenji's gullible enough.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this. The Taka death is where it really set off for me. Yuna's brother.
Yeah,
that
we did
really,
talk about Taka.
He fucking slices his head off and then he just. I'm like, I want to kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, I was like, all right, you're
gonna
die
today.
Because
like, Taka just wanted to like.
He resembled the innocence.
He wanted to make his sister proud. And he wanted to help, and all he had to do was run. But he didn't want to. He
resembled innocence in a dark world.
Yeah.
The positives in a world that is violent.
Oh, I have a negative gameplay wise. The grappling hook didn't work for me every single time.
Oh, it did for me.
Really?
So I'd just be jumping off shit and I just
really.
Well, I think because the timing window was a little off for me, so I would just miss it. I didn't feel as natural for me, so I just miss it and just.
I thought the grappling hook was cool though.
Oh yeah, it's great. Especially when you first use it, and you go underneath the bridge.
Oh, one negative thing I want to say: sometimes the AI are dumb as fuck in this game.
Yeah, but it's AI in general.
Yeah,
they'd be funny.
They're real dumb, but I mean that's hard to program. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
because
like, sometimes they were laser beaming you from an hour on like a mile away, and the other times you were like right in front of them, like and they're just like.
Dude, there could be
Where's
times.
his dead body?
There's the one mission where you're trying to steal the Huacha or whatever the thing is, like the thing that shot like the multiple arrows.
Oh yeah,
dude. There's one part that like there is like a bunch of just like wood planks just stacked up, and if you literally got on top of that, they would literally like if this was the thing that you were standing on, they literally just circled it and they didn't attack you. You literally could just stand there and shoot them all with the bow. I was like, oh, okay. My only negative, and it's not even really a negative for me, it's just the combat, like the game could feel stale. Like it wasn't for me, but like it could feel stale.
And that happens with a lot of open world games.
Yeah, because...
and I will say, like, I'm sorry to keep interrupting you, but like for me, compared to other open world games, this game like kept me more interested, more so than others, and me wanting to do the side stuff more so than others. And I think for me, it's also because it was still story elements tied in with the side quest.
Mm-hmm. I was doing a lot. Like I had days where I would be on Act 2 and I didn't do anything. I was just going around doing a bunch of different shit, whether it's side missions or hot springs or just whatever. Which I think that's how the game's meant to be played. If you mainline this game, I mean, you do such a disservice to the rest of the world. Mm-hmm. And like I said earlier, you know, you get improvements by doing this other stuff, whether it's charm or moves or armor or whatever. So I mean. Once I got used to the movement and everything, and it felt pretty fluid. I thought it was a little janky at first. You said about the parkour. Like, sometimes getting on a roof was just impossible.
Yeah, there were some things where, like, you had to go a certain way up and down places.
Yeah,
and, like, if you tried to, like, jump over a rock... Like, I think I actually did try to jump up on a rock, and I got stuck. I'm sitting there jiggling.
Yeah, but you know what's nice about that?
It's easy to get out of.
They simply just reset you.
Yeah.
So that's nice. If they didn't have that and you had to reset the game, that would have annoyed me much more. Yeah. But, you know, for an open world game, all in all, I don't have much negative to say. The story really took off for me. I really enjoyed it. I guess my negative, and this is just me personally, is I wish they didn't give you a choice at the end.
I liked it.
I mean, I didn't.
That goes back to what we talked about Last of Us 2.
Because my thing is with, if they were gonna give you a choice at the end, they should have introduced a choice earlier.
Yes. Yes.
Sure, they gave you a choice to be a samurai or ghost, but it's not. It doesn't. You don't directly really, impact the story.
Well, you don't really have a choice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because the story missions force you to become the ghost. Like you can't really be like
you're gonna become the ghost regardless.
Yeah, like I can't be like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to be the ghost. I want to be a samurai. And
well, you can kind of do that, but like you said, there's points like when you do your first assassination that triggers a flashback.
Yeah.
So I think throwing that choice in at the very end was kind of. You know, I don't hate it.
You know what part would have okay, this is just speculation and then we can work on wrapping it up.
Like, okay, for an example, I don't mean to interrupt you, but an example I thought of real quick is when you go to do the poison.
God.
Is that what you're
thinking? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Where you could have either chosen to poison the barrel or a second choice
I was either going to say I was going to say that or literally right after that, after you kill Ruzia or fucking Straw Hat Boy.
Straw Hat Boy.
When you're coming out of the castle and he's like, you know, declare her the backing of your ghost habits and, you know, say that you're a samurai, and you do that, how does the game turn from there?
Mm-hmm.
And you guys both played the Infamous games?
Yes.
Did you play the Infamous games? Those were there was more choice. It was more obvious if you were playing as good or bad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously Sly Cooper didn't have any of that.
No.
But this game has that, but it's not as clear cut, which I like. But if you're going to throw choices in there, I would have liked maybe at least 2 or 3 other ones scattered.
I see where that complaint can come from.
Just because, like, throwing it at the very, very end of the game with such a big decision
Unexpected.
like that.
That's a huge decision.
And, like, it caught me off guard, so it's, in a sense, not bad, but I wish it was a little more consistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I more so like when games have a true ending of, you know, and maybe one of the endings is a true ending, but not everybody's going to get that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad with Last of Us not having that choice. I like just to hear the story how it's supposed to be told, not how I want to tell it.
Yeah.
If I want a story of how I want to tell it, I want to be able to tell it from the rip.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
But other than that, I adore this game.
Mm-hmm.
I like it better than Last of Us 2.
Mm-hmm. Oh, same. Same. It's easily.
Now I want to pose a question, and we don't have to answer this right now. I'll send you guys the podcast I've been listening to, but they're a PlayStation podcast, and they were talking about what is Sony's best new franchise that's come out of the PS4.
That's.
Do you like this game better than Horizon?
I love Horizon.
I'm gonna go play Horizon again before the PS5 version comes out.
Well, I just bought it. Oh, here we go. I just bought it on PC, and
I get to control Aloy with my mouse and my frame rates.
No.
She's in 3D.
Look how bright the robot horses are.
No, but I'm gonna play it through again.
Yeah.
That's gonna be like my playthrough again.
I don't want to give my opinion because I haven't played it in a while, and I feel like it may be recency bias.
Just in
in case
case
of that
That's fair. That's totally fair.
When I finish Horizon again, I'll come back to this question.
I
will say right now.
You can't go wrong with either.
I would say right now that this is a forerunner for a lot of people. I would say this is up there as being the game that people are going to remember.
It's hard.
It feels so Last of Us to me, and not in the meaning that Last of Us came out the end of the PS3 cycle and it pushed the console to its limits. This is doing the same thing.
Yeah, you're not going to get much more out of the PS4 than what this game does.
Yeah.
Which makes me so excited to see what's going to be on the PS5.
It is a perfect swan song with the PS4 because this ties the bow on a fantastic run of exclusive games the PS4 had. I mean, would you go back to the conversation about best new franchise? Would you count God of War in there or not?
It's not a new franchise though. It's PlayStation.
It's
correct.
Not,
it's not,
but it is.
But it's
because it's a new like.
It's not a new franchise, but it's a new series. So I guess it's not.
Oh, is there gonna be more God of War games?
Oh, there's definitely
there's 1,000.
Oh,
you didn't beat it. You didn't beat it, right?
Play it.
Oh, yeah.
I never played
right.
any of the years.
That's my
they
favorite
already
game.
leaked. There's already been leaks. Now I don't know how true this is of the sequel.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I think I showed you. It's supposedly this is all speculation, so take this with a grain of
also,
salt.
if you haven't beaten God of War and you're still playing it, turn off now.
Yeah, but apparently it's called God of War Ragnaros. It's apparently the second one, and that leads
Ragnaros is the
perfectly.
That is.
That leads
You know how
perfectly.
the game ends?
Huh?
You know how the game ends? That Kratos' son is Loki.
Oh shit, that's fucking wild.
And it ends with you go back to your cabin, your house, and you sleep finally, and
you have this dream.
This dream that Thor comes to the front door, and then you wake up and Atreus or Loki is like, I had this dream that like Thor.
Yeah.
That Thor came, and then
that's so weird because he's supposed in Norse mythology, Loki is Thor's brother.
Well, you kill. We're down to God of War, but you kill
Baldur.
He
is
Thor's son.
He is one of Thor's sons. He's one of three.
You kill one. The other one comes bitching back at you, and you kill him too.
Baldur, more something.
I don't know what
the two brothers, the one that you fucked up when you chop him in the head, and then the other one's the shield guy that that Atreus kills, and then
God of War is all about fucking up gods. So I mean, dude,
that's a fantastic game.
Imagine we get to fight Thor.
So I mean, looking ahead to the PS5, and we can kind of wrap up here because we went a good amount on Ghost of Tsushima.
Well, before we say this, then I want to finish it. I had a thought that I wanted to say. What would you guys rate this game?
Oh, this is a 10. I don't think that's hard.
It's damn near.
It's either a 9. It's like in the range of a 9.5 to a 10.
I haven't enjoyed. I don't like using numbers. You guys know this already, but the biggest praise I can give it is I haven't enjoyed an open world like this since Spider-Man.
Ooh.
You guys know how much I loved Spider-Man.
Spider-Man was
great
for
that game.
That's another top PS4 exclusive. But I'm excited to see what PS5 exclusives we're going to get.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what I want to. Just want to set the scene for the PS5.
Before we continue this, though, game of the year so far for you guys?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And that's Fall Guys.
Not even
because not much came out this year other than Last of Us, right? It was Last of Us.
That's gonna be the title of this, by the way. It's gonna be Game of the Year, and then you're gonna have that shitty little fucking Fall Guys fucking.
It's just gonna be called like Fall Guys Mania. No, I'm thinking the title of this one's gonna be like We Made It Out the Basement or something like that. Because it's kind of a dig at Logic. Because you know how Logic always says he finally made it out the basement.
Okay.
Not that the basement was bad, but
no.
But it sets the landscape like Sony really has plenty to do with the PS5.
Well, Sony,
how can they up themselves?
I mean, but Sony really has a grasp over the market right now. Like, what Xbox?
You know, I want to get.
They only have 2 exclusives that are worth anything, and that is Gears of War and Halo.
Do you guys want to get in this conversation? Because
and Forza a little bit, because Forza. I don't know how much you've played
Forza games.
Forza's fucking amazing. Forza's fucking amazing. So I'd say they have 3. But then if you look over on like the
But I think they're doing some different stuff. I think Sea of Thieves looks cool. I didn't play it. I don't know how good it is.
I heard it's not that good.
Okay, that's fine.
That's not
hook I gave.
That's not entirely true. It is fun, but that runs into the same. It's open world, but it's literally doing the same thing
over and
over. So there's really not a whole lot of variety in there.
Where do you guys stand on the? I heard a lot of people saying that Sony's like anti-consumer because they believe in generations, whereas a new generation of systems come, you get a new controller, you get a new system, you buy new accessories. Whereas Xbox, I don't know if you saw, they announced that you're going to be able to use the Xbox One controller on the Series X.
Well, PS4, you can use the PS4 controller
right, but not
on
for PS5 games.
Yeah.
So you can only play PS4 games with PS4 controller.
I mean, I don't think it's anti-consumer.
I think that's good.
I think they want to give a different experience.
Well, no, it's good to keep up, like, having new technology constantly and keeping your stuff up to date is good, not just for like playing, but it's good to get rid of the old and bring in the new. It's like if you keep using the old stuff, like you kind of get complacent.
So you like the more traditional style of you go from PS3 to PS4 and you got all this new shit.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Okay,
the only thing that I want to be able to do is like I showed you earlier, I have 40 games on the system and I have a hard drive. I'm going to be upset if I can't use my 2 terabyte hard drive, and I want to be able. It's all digital games for me.
If not,
and I'm pretty sure that like all the games on a PS4 will be backwards compatible.
If not right away, you're going to be able to have external hard drives on your systems.
Yeah, so it's just
because it took PS4 a little bit. It wasn't off rip. You could just do this, but they did.
I think for the PS5, they probably will be like that though. It's just for me. It's because like especially at launch, how many games are you really going to have? I want to be able, like for example, if I buy Madden 21 or FIFA 21 or 2K. Anything like that.
Well, I think
obviously like we were playing a FIFA a little bit earlier while we wait for Jordan to get done at work. Like it does say like you will be able to,
everything will carry over.
Yeah, so but if I have that on my hard drive, which is all my games are majority on, am I going to be able to just?
You're going to have to download a new file. That PS5 file is going to be a lot bigger than the PS4 file. You think games are big now?
Oh yeah.
The file sizes on this PS5 are going to be fucking huge.
Oh yeah. Your main AAA games are going to be like your FIFAs, your your sports games, your Call of Duties, your
even games like these first party. Well, these first party games might be a little smaller only because if they're just single player, you don't have to have too many files, but they're still going to be big.
But games that rely a lot on like the FIFAs, like they're going to make that compatible like right away because a lot of people are probably going to buy that on PS4 so they can play it off rip.
Well, because
then everything carries over. You don't have to buy it again.
Exactly.
So why
didn't they say PS4 games will be backwards compatible?
Yeah.
So they were even talking about PS3, PS2.
Yes. Yeah, they were talking
I'm assuming that I'll be able to use. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to use my digital games. Especially because it'll be so much easier.
Yeah. Even if you can't use them, they'll be in once you log in with your PlayStation account. It'll say you already own it.
Yeah.
So you might have to re-download them. But, you're not going to re-download all 40 of your games. No. You can go in and, let's say you want to go, let's say you want to, I think they're going to up-res Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us 2 for PS5.
Good.
I think they're going to have like an upscaled version. But like, let's say you want to go download Ghost of Tsushima again. And then you can it's there and you can go and download it.
God, I can't even imagine what those graphics will look like.
For both of those games.
Well,
not like Last
think of Horizon 2.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Think of what that's going to look like. Because that's a beautiful game, too.
Dude, I saw like a trailer, a new trailer of Cyberpunk.
I didn't see it yet.
Oh man, I'm so ready for
I didn't get to watch that. Are you guys waiting?
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna wait too.
Yeah.
I'm honestly like
it's gonna hurt me, but I'm gonna wait.
Yo, dude, the more I talk about it, I want a PS5.
Oh yeah.
Because I need to play Miles Morales.
I think I'm gonna get it off John.
Oh, I am too.
I'm gonna try to get one as soon as possible.
When are pre-orders available?
I'm assuming they won't be available until they announce an actual date.
And I need to actually announce the price too. So.
Yeah, that'll all come together, I think.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I'm so like on board with the PS5. Like at this point, like I don't care what the price is. Like
I mean, if it's $700, I'm gonna still get it.
Like
now, if it's $700, I don't think I'll get it off jump. But
I don't. Well, I don't see it being $700. But
yeah.
even like even if it's more than the Xbox, like that doesn't affect me in the slightest.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm going to buy the PlayStation.
Well, for me at this point, especially now being older and I don't play multiplayers as much, and so it's like I'm more about my single player experience and the PlayStation caters that so much more.
1,000%. That's what happened with me too. Yeah, we'll play.
You see,
we'll play Fall Guys.
Yeah, it's like don't get me wrong. I love playing multiplayer games with my friends, and there might be something like that coming with us potentially. We won't say anything.
Ah.
We won't say anything more. But it's like we work all the time and our schedules are different. Monday is the only day we have off together. Besides me and Jordan have Thursdays off. But like besides,
well, Jordan doesn't even have off today.
Well, yeah, sorry, he doesn't have off Mondays. That's
he comes
true.
right from the grind.
He comes from the grind to his other grind. So it's like I don't have that. We don't. I don't know. I just don't have as much time, or we don't have as much time in general to play video games together.
I just enjoy single player games more now.
That's also
you kind of get lost
too.
in a world, and nobody's bothering you. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got anything else to say?
Nope.
No. I think this is.
I'm a little disappointed. I don't have anything to play. Like I have Fall Guys.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna get back in MLB.
Yeah, but
Well, Madden's coming out at the end of this month.
I feel like there's a gap of single player games that I know of. There could be something coming out that's not sticking to me, but like there's gonna be this gap of single player games.
Everything's being held for the fall.
Oh yeah.
You know, fall's always big for games, and especially this.
Especially because new systems are coming
Well,
out.
exactly.
Well, once one comes, there goes the floodgate.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting fall. Got PGA Tour coming the end of the month. I'll be on the links, winning some championships. You know, no big deal.
Goat shit, Tiger Woods shit.
Absolutely. I think we're good.
Yeah.
I think we ended there. That was fun. I love when we get in our video game bag because we're super passionate about it, and we don't get to talk about it much. I don't think to many of our other friends. So when we get to do it here about stuff we didn't even talk about. I'm glad we saved it. I was itching. I wanted to know if these guys killed the uncle or not.
It's nice when we get to sit here and talk about things while not making tacos for people.
Yeah, exactly. And Bailey slamming the thing because somebody just ordered a party pack. And I'm just looking at the TV because they got a Taco Bell advertisement on the side.
I'm tired of seeing Taco Bell. Dude, I got home from work yesterday. No, wait. What was yesterday?
Sunday.
Yeah, yesterday. I got home from work yesterday, and I watched a YouTube video, and the first thing was the fucking Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's like the DoorDash order or
why are you like
advertisement.
this?
So yeah, let's wrap it up there. We're the Night Shift Podcast. Everything's on Spotify, Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Twitter @_TNSP_. Linktree's there. I'll take you everywhere, including the Patreon. If you can support us, that'd be great because we just bought a new mic, so we don't have to borrow our friends' mics anymore. We're really going places with that income that we don't have from this podcast.
Absolutely.
But we don't care about that. We always have fun doing this. This is temporarily new studio. I think we're gonna rock out here maybe for a little bit.
I mean, honestly, if you guys want to be permanent, I'm completely
we'll
fine
see.
with that.
We'll see kind of how the results turn out here.
This is going to be probably the next. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to be here next week, but it's probably going to be the next couple weeks at least because I prefer this a little bit more. We're a little bit.
Yeah,
we're a little bit closer. I think, like I said, no offense to Zach, thank you for letting us use the room. But as the time passes, like next episode, there's even 3 new posters.
So when they record, they're not even. They have the TV behind them.
Oh,
you know what I mean? So we had the sofa, so we had the opposite end of them. But yeah, we're grateful for them for letting us use their shit. But now that we're
because if they didn't let us use it, there would be none of this.
Yeah, it would just be a lot worse. It would just sound a lot worse.
So shout out literally all 3 of your roommates. I guess.
You know what? I'm gonna plug them. They're the Basement Boys on YouTube. On Spotify, they're kind of everywhere too. We are. They're on Twitter and Instagram as well.
If you want to know their ad, literally go to our profile and follow us, and then go to our following, and then you'll see the video.
Yeah, we're only following like 10 people.
It's like 9.
If that.
Yeah, Jordan, you like that one?
Yes. So I'll make sure to give them love because they let us borrow a lot of their shit. Also, my other roommate Harrison let me borrow the mic we're using now. So shout out to him as well. I don't know his plugs exactly, but go to his Twitter as well. And,
if you like the Sixers, he's a follow.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. He's kind of crazy because he likes the Sixers, so I can't relate. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. It's been episode 11 of the Night Shift Podcast.
It's our Gareth Bale episode.
I was gonna say
it's our Neymar Jr. Bale. Don't ever disrespect 11 again.
The resident Neymar guy. We're the Night Shift Podcast. Peace.